Well, let's hop across to Manisha. She's back with us to tell us what's going on in the commodity markets. Manisha, take it away.
Thank you so much for that. Well, there is something positive coming in for commodities, especially when you look at the oil and gas space. If you look at the crude oil prices, while the overnight markets did see a gain of 2%, but this is going to be a third weekly decline that the crude oil prices are looking at. If you look at the high and low for the crude oil prices in this year, 2024, while the high has been almost $92 a barrel, but we have seen 75.3, and that was within this week itself. So we have seen a constant decline, lower lows coming in for the crude oil prices. If you also look at the markets, well, the Saudi Arabia for the month of July for its Asian consumers has cut the crude oil prices, official numbers that is, and that tells you that the demand really needs to be supported at this point in time. The markets also seem to be getting some support from the fact that the central banks are now cutting interest rates. ECB has done it for the first time in 5 years by 25 basis points in this week. We also have seen Bank of Canada do it for the first time in 4 years in this week itself. And the street is anticipating that it is going to be by the third quarter that you could be looking at the US Fed and Bank of China and Bank of England as well coming out and cutting interest rates there. The probability of a Fed September rate cut now stands at a 69%. Well, the Saudi Arabia also says that after the OPEC and allies have decided to cut output easing going forward in this year and the next as well, but they also say that the decision could be reversed if the market requires. If they see the demand declining or if they see the prices falling too much, then the OPEC and allies would come back into the market and do what they do best, and that is cut production going forward. Well, there's a lot of US data coming in today, but most important is going to be the US non-farm payroll numbers. While the Dow Jones survey anticipates 190,000 of jobs being created, it's a lower number that the Wall Street really seems to be working with right now. So Citi anticipates 140, Goldman Sachs at 160, so it's lower than 190. And the month of April, while was on the higher side, it was much lower than 220,000 jobs that the street was anticipating. So we're slightly falling in on that number. And if this number is lower than 190,000 today, then you perhaps are looking at weakness in US dollar and some more strength in commodities.
All right, Manisha, thanks very much for that. So that's basically data and how that could impact some of these commodities. We'll take